All right, Hillsboro new and old, welcome back. If this is your first time back at Hillsboro, we welcome you since the renovations have been completed. My name is Jeffrey Owens. I am the Hillsboro High School Athletics Business Manager, and I am pleased to welcome you all here for the dedication of the gym being renamed from the Ed Hesse Gymnasium to the Ed Hesse and Jackie Hill Turner Gymnasium. Really quickly, before we get into the program, we have a list of dignitaries that I must make sure to shout out very quickly. So first off, Erin Block, who is our MNPS School Board Representative. Is she here? Thank you for being here. We have Mr. Jeff, that's a great name, Preptit, from District 25, our council member from District 25. If you're here, can you please wave? You have the timing of somebody. I don't know who, but you have great timing, sir. We have Kenneth Priest, who is the class of 1973, and he is the alumni lead on renaming our gymnasium, so please give it up for him. As long as with Laura Rodriguez and David Stone, all a part of the class of 73. Russ Pulley is here, who's a part of our Hillsboro Athletic Hall of Fame. Russ, where are you at? Wave your hand. I just saw him. There you are. And then Mr. Mark North, who is our MNPS Director of High School Athletics. Wave your hand, Mark. Let the people see you. And then, of course, we have our students from HHS Borough News and Hillsboro Globe back here with the cameras and everything. We have our Hillsboro High School student government representatives. Our PTSO presidents are here. PTSO president, Ms. Amy Geis. And then also, people who will be playing their game tonight, we have the 2023-2024 girls basketball team. Coach Stringfield's the reason I'm trying to rush through this, because if we don't start at 6 o'clock on the dot, she's going to be very upset. So, 6 o'clock on the dot, the girls will be in here to play, and of course our boys will be playing soon. After that, it should be an absolutely awesome basketball season. So please give it up for them once again. All right, so we're going to jump right into the program here. So we're going to have one of our star volleyball players, Paige Browning, read Jackie Turner's biography to all of us, and then Dr. Shula Pelham, who is our executive principal, will come up and say some words as well.
Thank you for being here to celebrate the renaming of our gymnasium. For years, this has been the Ed Hesse Gymnasium. Ed Hesse was a longtime coach and teacher at Hillsboro. With the blessing of his son and many months of work by a group of alumni, Jackie Turner's name has been added to the gym. This afternoon, we celebrate this change. To help you understand why this was done and how deserving Jackie Turner is of this honor, let me tell you a little bit about her. Jackie Turner attended Hillsboro High School from 1944 to 1948. She excelled as a student, athlete, and leader. She was the science medalist and valedictorian. She was named to the All-City team each year as a player. Ms. Turner was twice recognized as a top 3 scorer in the league and was named Hillsboro's most valuable player her senior year. As a leader, she was president of the Girls Athletic Association and the National Honor Society. Her classmates elected her to 3 superlatives: most athletic, most dignified, and most intelligent. Jackie Turner returned to her alma mater in 1956 and taught chemistry until 1987. She taught both AP and standard chemistry. These were the days before calculators, so slide rule skills were needed. Her class provided a solid base for college chemistry class. She was named Teacher of the Year in Metro Nashville in 1980. Her first quiz of the year was to know the mascot, school colors, and alma mater. Outside the classroom, Ms. Turner sponsored the Girls Athletic Association and organized and ran the yard sale at the Hillsboro Carnival fundraiser for many years. In 1964, the yearbook was dedicated to her, stating that she perfectly exemplifies what Hillsboro symbolizes. Ms. Turner mentored and influenced hundreds of her students to go on to be coaches, scientists, and professionals in their field. As passionate as Jackie Turner was about teaching, she had the same passion for coaching. Remember, these were the days before Title IX, and Ms. Turner was a pioneer in looking for opportunities for women to participate in sports. She took multiple teams for different sports to the state tournament, winning state championships in tennis in 1968 and track and field in 1973. Ms. Turner coached volleyball teams to 4 state tournament appearances. She coached basketball from 1956 to 1980. Some of her accomplishments during those 24 years included 6 National Interscholastic League championships, 10 district championships, 5 regional championships, 6 state tournament appearances, multi-NIL Coach of the Year awards, 75% rate with over 450 wins, inducted into the 2008 NIL Hall of Fame, inaugural class inductee in 2012 Hillsboro Athletic Fame. In 1962, the Tennessean called her the Dean of Women's Athletics in Nashville. As a student, teacher, and coach, Ms. Jacquelyn Ann Turner spent her life giving best to Hillsboro High School. Can we give a round of applause to celebrate Jackie Turner's service to Hillsboro?
That is remarkable, isn't it? I've been around metro schools for about 25 years now, and I don't think I've heard many coaches that have that kind of a resume. I want to thank all of you for coming out this evening, and I want, especially Mr. Owens, thank you for recognizing all the people here, but there's one group of people you left out, and that is my team of people who made this all happen tonight. So Dr. Molly Searing, if you raise your hand real quick, one of our assistant principals here. Obviously, Mr. Jeffrey Owens, one of our deans, Ms. Mo Farrell, one of our instructional and athletic coaches, Dr. Susie Carter way over there, and also Mr. Riley Walker, athletics principal, who's working behind the scenes to get ready for our game tonight. You know, the alumni are who have made this happen, but just the logistics of this evening, getting to hear, I have a great team of people who really leaned into this, wanted to make it a special event, so thank you very much. Over 2 years ago, I was approached by a group of alumni with a request to honor Miss Turner, and I wasn't sure if what they wanted was even possible. We explored some other alternatives, but we kept coming back to adding her name to the gym. Through this process, I had the pleasure of getting to know many members of the class of '73 and other alumni here. And I also had the honor to get to know Ms. Turner a little bit more through them. I've had the honor of serving as a high school principal for almost 20 years in this district, in 2 different schools. And these are schools with long traditions of greatness. So I understand and appreciate what it takes to be worthy of having your name added to a marquee facility. I've also, unfortunately, seen the fallout from well-meaning groups when there's disagreement about this, especially adding a name to a facility that already has one. The process is lengthy and it is rigorous, and appropriately so. It is an honor forever to have your name added to the facility. And this is why it's so momentous. And it goes beyond just adding Miss Turner's name, as it underscores the grace and class of the Hesse family at the same time. They fully embraced this and supported the honor for Miss Turner. It was not an acquiescence. They didn't say, okay. They embraced it. They knew and understood the importance of this as well. I was touched and humbled to read the letter endorsing this by the Hesse family. It was a recognition that does not in any way take away from them, but only rightly honors her. And in doing so, it reinforces those great qualities that have been recognized in them both. Although I regret that I never had the opportunity to meet or get to know Ms. Turner during her time with us here, I am proud to have played a role in helping make this happen. It's not just an honor for her, but also for all the incredible female coaches out there, past and present. Women who achieve greatness off and on the court who deserve this type of recognition. So I want to thank those alumni and friends of Miss Turner who brought this to me over 2 years ago and had the patience and the persistence to see this to the end. You are all an inspiration to us. So please, everybody, just give our alumni a round of applause. Thank you. I do also want to be sure there's a couple of housekeeping notes I mentioned that when we're done with our ceremony here this evening, we have some members from our school media who would love to get your pictures in front of the signage and plaques or just with your friends. Miss Straysinger, where are you? Over here in the back, if you'll see Miss Straysinger, if you want to try and get some pictures made, they would love to do that for you. I also like to point out that our school spirit store is open, and I am loving the old school swag that you guys are wearing. Maybe inspiration to some stuff we're going to order in the future there. And by all means, you're all welcome to please stay for our game this evening. We'd love to have you as our guests. With that, I'm going to be turning this over, I believe, to Miss Amy Fair. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for this great show of people in their Hillsboro green. I am excited to be here because my life's work has been about helping people set up funds to honor others and to give back to the community. I work at the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, and we are honored to be the ones to partner and hold the Jackie Turner Scholarship. The Community Foundation has more than 160 scholarship funds. We've been making grants to support student education since 1994. And one other scholarship that was started earlier has connections to Hillsboro. So over the last 5 years, we've had about 20 Hillsboro students who've received scholarships, and we hope that stream of students continue with the Jackie Turner Scholarship. The way that it landed at the Community Foundation is about everything, right? It's about connections that you have with people. I come here not as only the Community Foundation representative, but a mother of a Hillsboro High School student who will be graduating in 2026. And I had someone from the PTO reach out, and Aaron Block, who is with the school board, reach out and say, you need to connect with the Community Foundation. And that's often how it happens. And so we're honored to have this fund. The fundraising has only begun. The more money that's raised for the fund just means more students are able to pursue their educational dreams. And that's really what it's all about. And the other thing is really about honoring that story. We often talk about, yes, we're able to give money away, we're able to support others, but one of the most meaningful, most important things that we do is maintain those stories of others, these storied lives of people like Jackie Turner. They live on because of people like the class of '73 who really spearheaded this, but for all of the people who've started giving, who've believed in this, and who are supporting this, this will continue on forever for class after Hillsboro students that will receive a Jackie Turner Scholarship. So thank you for being here today. There are many people that you can talk to if you're interested in contributing to this wonderful new scholarship fund, and thank you in advance for your consideration.
Thank you, Paige, Dr. Pelham, and Ms. Fair for your words. At this time, we're going to have Dr. Ann Hutchison-Price, who is a former girls basketball player and chemistry student under Coach Turner. She's also the Associate Dean for Alumni Affairs in the School of Medicine at Vanderbilt University. And then after that, we're going to have Jinx Demetris Cockerham. That is a great name. Former girls basketball player under Coach Turner and former Father Ryan's girls basketball coach come up right after her. Thank you.
learning about the periodic table, seeing a giant slide rule, I mean giant slide rule, in front of the class. Those of you, I know Brad, you're here from a different era than me, but it was there. It was right in the front, and we had to learn how to use one. Participating in the Vanderbilt Science Fair and learning the factor conversion method. This was very important, and those of you who may have forgotten the factor conversion method, it's for converting one set of units to another. And I have to say, we used it a lot. And what do all those things have in common? And of course, it's Miss Turner's chemistry class. And as they said, I'm Ann Hutchison. I was Hutchison at the time that I played here and went to school. Class of 68, we have several 68 classmates here, and I welcome all of you all from every class. I was very fortunate to be coached by Miss Turner in basketball, tennis, and track. But I think even more importantly to my ultimate career as a physician, it was taking her AP chemistry class that really counted the most. And it says, you know, on the program, I've just retired, by the way, those of you who so from Vanderbilt, and it was a wonderful career for me to be part of that organization too. Chemistry is not an easy subject. I think all of us will agree on that. And Ms. Turner never ever suggested that it was going to be. In fact, she suggested it was going to be hard and that her class was going to be hard. And that if we would really work hard, really longer, more diligently, then we could master chemistry. And that's what she wanted for all of us. She was a really team-oriented. She wanted the whole class to succeed, not just a few. She wanted everybody in the class to really master chemistry. And her pledge to us was to walk alongside us, that she was going to make it as easy as possible for all of us. She not only taught chemistry, but she taught how to study. That was very important. And that she had, you know, now what I see is that problem-based methodology of learning. Back then we didn't call it that, but that was what I can now see is being taught so much. And that was hers, a real analytical approach to problem solving. She loved learning, and she wanted us to love to learn. And she wanted us to learn effectively and efficiently. In her worldview, there was absolutely no time to waste. None. Whether you were on the court or whether you were in the classroom, you did not waste time. She spoke softly, often with some humor. I don't ever remember her raising her voice in the classroom, at least not in my classroom. Now, there were some Hillsboro teachers, I will say, during that era that did raise their voice at times, but she was not one of them. She just commanded respect in the classroom. And she just really wanted us to love the learning process and to learn how to learn. And I know that in college and graduate studies, in our professional careers, many of us who were fortunate to be taught by her found that success was possible using those methods that she had really imprinted on us. And that success was possible not just in chemistry classes, but in all different disciplines. And the depth of her teaching impact, I just think it cannot be overstated. That legacy lives on in all of us who were so privileged to learn from her. But now, I think we have this opportunity to honor her as a real master teacher in the classroom. And that's what I'm here to talk about. I'm going to let Jinx talk about coaching, but really her educational approach. She was a master teacher. She was someone to be valued and emulated and yes, honored. And I think it's really fitting that we are embarking on this scholarship that honors her. And this is going to complement, as I understand it, an award that's been given for a number of years, a certificate type award that, to a number of Hillsboro students who are scholar athlete leaders here. So I think it's wonderful to have this award to complement also the renaming of the gym. And I too want to thank the Hesse family just for embracing this and being so kind as the class of '73 approached this particular effort. Miss Turner would just be mortified. She would. I mean, by all this, she was just so humble. She was so modest, the way she lived and the way she was every day. But honoring her in this way, I think, is truly richly deserved. And I really appreciate everyone coming out here today for this. I think it's in the best Hillsboro tradition of excellence. So thank you.
I will not be speaking about slide rules, for sure. And I'm glad you covered that, Ann, because I'd like to thank Dr. Pelham and all you Hillsboro staff for making this possible. When this whole thing got started, and David Stone is not here, and I'm so sorry he's not here because he's sick. David started with these ideas, and I'm thinking, I just don't know if this is going to be possible. And he and Kenneth and Laura got together, and then with the help of Ann and Sarah Hume, it just morphed, and it's so wonderful. I do have to say again, thanks to Jabo Hesse, who is in Naples playing golf, and he said the only way he would be back here would be if we would play the current Hillsboro team in a 3-on-3 game. That's what he wanted. And I said, I don't think that's going to happen. I know, they wouldn't know how to do it. You mean you don't cross the line in the center line? My name is Jinx Demetrius Cochran. I'm a class of 1966. When I think about it, it scares me to death because it's over a half of a century when you put it like that. It was a time when Hillsboro basketball was following in the steps of so many of you outstanding athletes. So many of you here were playing when I was in middle school, and you took the floor, as we did too, to win, to compete, not to hope and try hard to win. You were going to win. And my experience with basketball began when I was in middle school at Dewey Green. A lot of you probably went to Dewey Green. You know there was no gymnasium. We played under Coach Madden Warfield, who kind of got us on the asphalt. And, you know, we did what we could do, and if he could find a gymnasium for us to play in, that's where we would practice. He spoke so frequently of Jackie Turner, all the time, Jackie Turner. My dad would take me to the games, so I'm watching the Bushies and the Ledyard. I hate to mention names, but all of you all, I'm watching them as a middle school player, hoping that one day I would be able to play at Hillsboro. And it was then, as I'm watching the players, I found myself, and these were games that were played all over, and even state games. I can remember just vividly some state games in tight gyms. It was then that I found myself watching Jackie Turner more than I was the players. Her actions, her style, her poise, her confidence, her competitive spirit, but as Ann said, in a very soft way. She is a legend, as you all well know. She coached in such a quiet, sophisticated way, but yet she never hesitated to let you know when she expected more from you. I vividly remember a game that we lost, and we were not supposed to lose. And we walked in, those of you that remember the path of coming out and under the little whatever that was, and into the gym, and I looked around, and she had chairs set up all the way around the gym. Do you remember that, Ann? She had chairs set up about 6 feet apart, all the way around the floor. And I think I'm right in saying that that floor is part of the original floor. Is that correct? No? No, it's not? Oh, anyway. Good thought, anyway. Somebody told me that. And so she said to us as we went to the, locker room and we changed clothes. We put on our practice gear and our Converse. And she said, start jumping and make sure you don't fall. As painful as it was, we did it. If you've ever tried to do that multiple times, it hurts. The next day, we could not walk. We were not able to practice, and there were two things that were really learned that day. One was for her not to punish us by having us jump chairs, and the other was for us not to lose a game that we were not supposed to lose. Her teams were the competitive teams, way before me and way after. She was the queen of the NIL. And when I say the NIL, it was the National Interscholastic League, which was everybody playing everybody, not the NIL that you all know today, not that acronym. There are pictures of her in the newspaper and in the annuals and so forth of this year when we won the NIL, wherever it is, this year, even though my jacket has a few little places on it, mothball places on it. It was a big win, and we lifted her up on our arms. Wow. Can you imagine putting Jackie Turner on your arms and sang the song that we always sang to her, which was, "We love you, Mama. We love you, Mama." That was the song. She was dying 1,000 deaths as we did that. But it's in the newspaper. It was a great NIL championship game. Jackie Turner was the epitome of grace, as everyone has said. She taught us how to win with grace and lose with dignity. She led by example. She got her hair done every Friday before the game. Every Friday, and she looked perfect. Just like that. She looked perfect. She always had this little towel that she would place on her knees. And I guess that's because we wore dresses or skirts or whatever, you know, and she always had that little towel. We respected her. We played hard for her, and we never wanted to disappoint her. We always went with her on Christmas Eve to sing Christmas carols to the neighborhood on Woodmont Boulevard, and that was a part of the Girls Athletic Association, which she sponsored and you all have mentioned. After graduation, she would always hold a scrimmage, an alumni scrimmage, against her current players. I was always so afraid, you know, we were going to lose. If that game was close and you were on the current team, you were in trouble. She was not a happy camper if that was a tough game. So I graduated from Hillsboro having a strong attachment to the school and to the athletic program. Do I remember specific practices and what we did in those practices? No. Do I remember all the games we played and specific instances in every one? No. Do I remember what she would say to us when we went into that dungeon of a locker room? Wasn't it a dungeon? A little bitty dungeon after we won or lost? No. But I do remember watching her grade chemistry papers in the stands, pretending to watch the boys play basketball. Y'all remember seeing her do that? She'd pull out her papers and she'd sit up in the stands. I do remember her telling us how to dress after the game, something that stayed with me. I do remember how she left an indelible mark on my life. I always wanted to please her, as most of us did. I went into the field of coaching, not because of her, I was kind of drawn into it, but coaching volleyball and basketball for a long time. And I started out thinking, I really want to emulate her. There was no way. There is no way to emulate her. I didn't coach over 40 years because of her, but I always felt that a part of her was kind of resting on my shoulder when I had big decisions to make. She had the ability to always be under control, and that was very, very hard when you were coaching. And she really did want to develop leaders. I do remember coaching against her, which was even rarer for me to coach against her. In both sports, I had to coach against her. And I knew how her teams would be prepared because she was the legend. And she was by far the most respected coach in Nashville and the surrounding counties. No doubt about it. I also remember her always standing proud and always, her gait was shoulders back, slow walk, you know. she was unbelievable. So as you read what is written on this plaque, and you hear more about her life, you've heard so many great things. Please do remember those that came before you. I know you all do. This really kind of needs to go to them, those in there, because her 70s year was Title IX, and last year was the 50th anniversary of Title IX. And just so you know, Title IX did not have the word athletics in it in the original legislation. So that even makes it more important. It took several years for athletics to equalize men and women in their performances or their ability to have the teams, et cetera, et cetera. It's very, very interesting if you're just kind of interested in looking all that up. If you're one of those students who completed her chemistry class, gosh, congratulations. And I think you all should stand. If you were in her class, her chemistry class, stand, and we'll give you a hand. I think that's incredible. Thank you. Because I know you do, valedictorians. Because part of this award, obviously, as we got into it, as Ken and all them got into it, they wanted the academic part to be a huge part of it, not just athletic. But if you're one of those who played for her, how lucky you were, and you are. Please stand. Congratulations. Woo! That's awesome. That's incredible. Thank you. Jackie Turner began traditions, as you can see. As I said in an email to my 66 class, I said, how many of us know another woman who taught such a challenging class and coached all those sports that she coached, not all at the same time, obviously, but all those sports, in Nashville, a female, and excelled in all of them? I don't think so, because there wasn't anybody, and there never will be anybody like Jackie Turner. So I'm ending in kind of a simplified way. I'm spelling out Grace. She was Grace. She's the GOAT. Will always be the GOAT. The R is respect, because she was respected by teams, players, coaches, supporters, anybody in the schools, the teachers in her schools, as well as in others. The A is for alumni, for all of you, because, gosh, it's great to see all of you here honoring her. The C is for consistency in class. We always knew what she wanted us to do. We might not could do it, but we tried to do it with class. And the E was for excellence. How excellent can you be? In the classroom, on the court, demanded by her, and we've carried it through. Thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate it.
Once again, we thank you all for being here today to honor the life and legacy of Coach Jackie Turner. I'm going to give some closing remarks before we get to the part that everybody's waiting on. I can see it. People are at the edges of their seats. I may butcher this, but I hope Mark North forgives me. I was at the Nashville Coaching Coalition a couple of weeks ago, and he always had a segment where he would kind of speak to us about what coaching is. And I think what we've heard today through all of these speeches, through all these different things, is that Jackie Turner was a coach. And not only was she a coach, but she was a great, great teacher. And what we always talk about is that you walk across a lot of different professions and a lot of different jobs and a lot of different entities, but the one thing you'll never forget, good or bad, is a coach. And I think that what we have shown today and what you all have shown today is that Jackie's Turner legacy will never die, because at the end of the day, not only was she a coach, she was a good one. So let's make sure we celebrate that today as we now, Dr. Pelham, want to lead through the part that everybody's been waiting on. Okay, come up here. Come on. Yeah.
Atlanta, and they want to get those over there.
Ready?